Welcome to the Professional Women's Wellness Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Peggy Gleason, creator of the Mindful Eating Approach, where I help professional women and business owners with a tailored path to weight loss and self-confidence without the stress of restrictive diets, time-consuming exercise regimes, or medications. I help you transform your eating habits to enhance all areas of your wellness, and we always offer inspiration, motivation, and education with amazing gifts. I have a delightful opportunity to introduce to you Monica Cahillo. I knew I was going to Cahillo. Mm-hmm. I asked her before we got on how to pronounce it, and I still messed it up. But anyway, I'm thrilled to introduce Monica. She's a certified expert in indoor environmental health. Isn't that awesome? And integrative nutrition. She's committed to creating healthy home styles. Inspired by her grandmother's traditional healing practices, Monica combines natural remedies with modern science to help clients build healthier, toxin-free homes. She's also an active member of the Asthma and Allergies Foundation of America and the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, blending passion and expertise to promote well-being. And I am so honored and thrilled to say welcome, Monica.
Well, thank you so much, Peggy. I'm so happy to be here. And this is my passion. This is my, I say it's my story, but it's also what I love to do, just because my whole thing is, we were created to be whole. And because that's the only way we can be our best at what we do.
Absolutely. And we're so privileged to have you here. And we're dying to hear some of your wisdom. Boy, you're in a really good niche there. Mm-hmm. So what I want to ask you is give me a little background to how you got into doing this specific kind of niche, so to speak, right? With indoor health and nutrition.
Absolutely. My story really starts way back from, obviously where I was born. And I grew up with grandparents and great-grandparents who practiced natural medicine. I don't think they knew that they were doing because they never went to, I don't think they even had like third grade education. But they somehow, I believe it's a God-given gift that you have when you know what roots, what mushrooms, what leaves, what, all the things that actually grow in the ground that can heal. And that's what they did. And so, I remember, growing up, they would make all these concoctions and we were forced to drink them. Yeah.
Oh boy.
And eat them. Some of them were really good. Some of them were really, really, the taste I can still remember. But, what I remember from that is that we never got colds. We never got, sick. And so, I actually had another call yesterday and I was telling people I don't remember ever missing school because I was sick.
That's something.
And so, just growing up like that, it becomes your way of life. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that that's what I would be doing for a living, but obviously God always has other plans. And so, when I was younger, actually, I did get, they could not diagnose this then because this was, I grew up in Africa and, so they could not diagnose what it was. I just knew that I had a digestive problem. And I was taken from hospital to hospital. I couldn't, I wasn't getting healed. And, I was prodded. I was, just so many things that literally I developed a fear of hospitals. And I remember, my mom's side of the family, they come from the medical field. And so she was like, no, we are taking you to real doctors, but, eventually, I remember when I was 8 years old, I heard, the doctor saying, oh, we have to do exploratory surgery. And I was
goodness.
There is because they couldn't find it. And so I begged my parents. I said, if I get if I get surgery, I'm not going to wake up. And I don't know why they listened to me to this day, because I asked them, why did you listen? And, because when you're that age, you just do, whatever doctors say that they do. But they actually agreed with me, and they took me home, and the doctor said, well, she's going to go home to die. Because I had lost like everything, I was skin and bone, because everything I ate, came out. I was not getting any nutrition. And so, when I went home, I remember, my mom even going to my grandparents and saying, hey, we have tried everything. So if there's anything you can do, if she's going to die, at least, we gave her another chance. And so, my grandmother was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So she just did whatever she did, gave me a concussion like for 3 days. And, I don't know what it is with God, obviously with the number 3. So in 3 days, like literally I could eat and not throw up. I could eat, I could sleep, I could walk, for the first time, I could actually even walk myself outside, because beforehand I was so weak, I couldn't even walk.
That's amazing.
I know. And so, it was, and then, I just started healing very, very quickly. Cause now I could eat nutrition. I could, I started, gaining muscle. I started, really getting, my body back together. And from that time, I just started running. My mom said, like, I never walked anywhere. I was just running because I had all this energy, But anyway, that's how it started. Yeah. And so, I understood then, at that time, my grandparents lived with us. And, so I just started following them when they go to the garden. I'm the one that, if they couldn't reach anywhere, I'm the one that reached it. If they couldn't climb a tree, I'm the one that climbed the tree, go get this, go get that. And so, they taught me a lot. They didn't know they were teaching me, but I was just listening to what they were saying. And, I guess I hid it somewhere in my brain because but that's the way I lived. And then when I came to the United States, I continued to live like that. Until, I came to Georgia about, 15 years ago. And, you live close here, so how it is, the humidity and everything else. I got into a home, my first home that I moved to when I came to Georgia. It had a lot of issues I didn't know, because you see a house, it's nice and clean, it's the way you like it, and you just move in. But it was very, very toxic. And I didn't know it. So I started getting sick. I was sneezing and coughing. And people said it was allergies, but I didn't have allergies, because when I was out, I was fine. It's when I came home that I actually was feeling sick. And, I started not being up, always been, an 8-hour sleeper, all my life. I started not sleeping at night. Every time I woke up, my eyes were swollen, everything about me, my sinuses. And until I ended up actually going to the doctor, and they said, oh, you have allergies. And I said, what am I allergic to? And, they have all these tests and they tell you, it's absolutely everything. And it's like, I just want to know. I tried just using herbs and, going to naturopathic. I would feel better a little bit, but then it would all come back. And at this time I was working. Is the first time, like I told you before, I had never missed school. The first time in my life that I ever could actually call in sick, because I couldn't. And I was in sales, so I wasn't going to talk to people when I'm hacking and coughing and, so it's the first time I remember actually ever missing work because of the way I was feeling. And, my throat was always sore. I would lose my voice all the time. I had sinus infections. I started growing, the nasal polyps. It was like one thing after the other. And, whenever I went for medication, when I go to a doctor, they gave me medication. And when I read, I'm one of those that read everything. And when I read the side effects, they were worse actually than what I was suffering. So I was like, no, I'm not going to take this. Yeah. And, I was like, I had literally requested, to be transferred back I used to live in Chicago. To be transferred back to Chicago because I couldn't live here anymore, and I couldn't find what was wrong, because I was doing all the things that I know how to do. even the naturopaths were flabbergasted. And then I remember one time, we'd gone to a meeting and, there were other companies that were in the meeting, and this guy walked up to me and he didn't even say hi. And he was like, "I know what's wrong with you." I was like, "Who are you? And what do you know that I don't know?" Then he told me, because I know the way you look is how I used to be. And there's something that I used that, I think might help you. You can try it. I was like, "What is it?" It's like, he said it's a purifier, because I think you are allergic to your home. And he said, before he even said anything, go get your home tested. And then if whatever they find, you can call me. And even by this time, I had actually bought, filters, purifiers, but they would work for a minute and then they didn't. And like literally, I had bought from a filter from $200 to almost $2,000 ones, and none of them were helping me. They would work for a minute and then they didn't work. And so when I got my home tested, oh my goodness, the things that came back were, I'm surprised I'm still alive, because I had black mold. I had gray mold.
The worst.
I know. I had, like the people that had lived in their home before, they had pets, and what they did, they changed the carpet, but, because I had the carpet pulled up, and every day under those pets had ever done was under the under the carpet.
Oh no.
So it was a mixture of so many things. And so I went back to that guy and I told him, what I found out. He was like, "That's what I thought." So he, in the meantime, I had to move out of the home so that it can be, cleaned up. And then he gave me, he said, just go put this in your home and just let it run. And I'm telling you, for the first day that I put that purifier on, it was, I did not sleep, because I was only sleeping like 2 hours a night. I could not sleep,
Wow.
but I was rested. Like the way you feel rested. The second night I slept for 5 hours, and I remember clearly the third day, it was my day off, fortunately, because I was still working, and I slept for 10 hours without waking up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And, when I woke up, my eyes were completely, like normal. I did not have any swelling. My sinuses were down. Everything I was suffering. The only thing is, I'd really lost because of coughing, and, I think I messed up my vocal cords. That's the only thing that had not completely come back, but everything else was back. And I remember going back to work and everybody's doing a double take on me. They were like, what have you done? They thought that I did surgery of some kind. I was like, yeah, and I'm here today. If I had physio surgery, I don't think I'll be showing up at work, 2 days later. But that's what it did. So, moving forward. So that started happening. And then I started wondering, wow, I wonder how many other people, suffer from this and they don't know. So that's where, out of curiosity, I started studying and learning. I already very familiar with that, the PCRM. I joined them a long time ago because, they teach people about natural health, but I was doing it for myself. I wasn't doing it to do it as a business or to, to teach people. And so, so the more I started learning, the more I realized how many people actually suffer from indoor health, because it literally affects everything you do, and it affects all of their life. So going back to school, I looked at what the EPA says. 90%. We spend 90% of our time indoors, and so everything inside the home, that's what we are breathing. They've also tested. They have also tested homes. They say over 80% of homes actually have mold in them. Just because you can't see mold doesn't say that you don't have it. It's just not showing, because by the time it shows, that's when it is really, really bad. And then the building materials, they are all very, very toxic, because it's all chemicals all around us, the things that we bring into the home. our cleaning supplies or things we put on our bodies or, laundry detergents.
Yeah.
All those things, they are actually compiled and they're actually in the home. And just because you don't smell them, they're there. Our furniture,
Sure.
the furniture is sprayed with, all different chemicals. It's like literally you're surrounded by it and you don't know. The VOCs, if you cook with gas, if you cook with electricity, they're, magnetic. I mean, it's like literally everything. And so when you combine all those things, people are getting sick and they don't know why.
Wow.
So,
What a wonderful study you've done, though.
yeah.
I mean, all these years just based on helping yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but then going back and studying so that you can help others. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many people have filters in their homes like that,
Exactly. And most people, now, and I think, I always say, before COVID, nobody ever thought about the air they breathe unless you have asthma and allergies.
Right.
Because most
yeah.
people, if you don't have them. And so, one of the questions, because I get a lot of people say, oh, but, because I give talks a lot to different places, but they're like, oh, but I don't have asthma or allergies. They're like, okay, actually those are the lucky ones, the ones that know because they know there's something wrong. Because the people that don't know and you're breathing the same air, where is it going? Because it's in your body
people
somewhere.
Don't realize. Yeah,
I know.
People don't realize it doesn't have to just be respiratory.
Exactly.
You can have those toxins affecting your whole body, your skin, your inflammation can go skyrocket.
Exactly.
So it's such a critical thing for everybody to learn about.
Exactly.
And I'm so glad you're enlightening us and letting us know that there are people like you who are experts in understanding environmental air, your environmental space, everything around your environment, how important it is to be mindful, to know what is in your home. I can't even imagine the numbers of people you can help or that you have already, I'm sure.
I mean, you have no idea because I talk, I have some kids, who are born with asthma, and now they're healed. They call me the air lady. Oh, where's my air lady?
I like that. The air lady. I think you should keep that. That's wonderful.
She always says, she gave me my air. She gave me my air, because they have in their home. So it's really cool to see somebody. And now they are grown and they suffered since they were children. And to see them not suffering anymore is that's what I love to see. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's your gift back is to know that you've made a difference, right?
Amen.
Wonderful. Well, I am so thrilled that we got a chance to learn all about your world and how you're making an impact on everyone's health. And I understand you have a little something free that you want the audience to have.
Yeah, I would actually be giving, a gift just to, it's an assessment that I do. So I would send it to them. And then, I'm actually willing to meet, one-on-one with them and just give them some things that they can do to start off. And then if they want to work with me after that, then we can dive into it.
Well, we will make sure that all of your links and your free gift and everything about you, how to reach you, is available to all the listeners, because I know there's a lot of people listening right now thinking, I need to talk to her because something's not right in my home, or I'm not feeling okay. So thank you so much. I so appreciate your time, Monica. This was delightful.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. I love talking about it, and I just pray that people hear and do something about it, because our bodies were created to be healed. And think about the breath is the first thing you do when you get born, the last thing you do when you die. So in between, take care of it.
Oh, I love those last words. Those are wonderful. I love it. Well, you have a happy next week, and we will get to talk to you soon.
We will. Thank you so much, Peggy. I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for listening and supporting the Professional Women's Wellness Podcast. If you would like to attend training sessions by our amazing podcast guests and have a chance to connect, join the Professional Women's Wellness newsletter. For more details and to sign up, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast. Each week, we will select a reviewer who will receive free access to my $197 course, Goodbye Night Bites, a 30-day journey to stop emotional eating at night. Please subscribe to get notifications of future episodes.